and gents, and welcome to another chapter of One Piece. One Piece chapter 1051, Shogun of Wano, Kozuki Momonosuke. This one is a real treat. It's a real good one. It's a real good one, guys. So let's get to it. It starts off where the last chapter ended, where there's the people running away because they thought Kaido was back, but it was just Momonosuke. Is like they're just running because they're scared. But then you hear Momonosuke, they say, "There's no need to run. Stop." And then they're like, wait, there's two dragons? What does that mean? But yeah, they say apparently that big dragon wasn't Lord Kaido. Yes, it was Pink. It was Kozuki Momonosuke. And it's time, boys. It's time. We're finally gonna get to be able to see what he looks like as an adult, because you know he was aged up 20 years. 20 years. You start seeing from the big poof cloud of smoke the scabbards coming out. You see the scabbards coming out. We see everyone but Kanjiro, obviously, because you know that guy's dead. Good for him. And we also don't see Izo or Ashura Doji for some reason. It's a little mysterious there. But yeah, I wonder why Ashura and Izo are not there. But we do see Kinemon, Denjiro, Kiku, Raizo, Unorashi, Neko Mamushi, and Kawamatsu. Yeah, the dog and the cat, or I should just say Cat Viper and Dog Duke Storm, because you know it's kind of hard to say their names. But yeah, we see everyone but Ashura Doji and Izo. We even see Shinobu there. And when we see Kinemon, he's doing that yo pose. You know what I'm talking about. You'll see it on the screen. But yeah, and then people are like, what? I thought he was dead. Didn't he perish in the flames of Odin Castle that fateful day? No, he didn't. No one did except Momonosuke's mom, Toki. And people are just like, what? Is this a dream? Did we all die? Are we in the afterlife? Because, you know, they think they're ghosts, so that must mean they all must have died. But no, they're just coming out of the poof smoke, and they're actually seeing them. They're coming out. And well, I like this little scene where Cat Viper is actually holding Kiku with his cut off left hand. And you know, it's funny because, you know, she also got her left hand cut. So, yeah. We see that people are like, Lady Toki's words were true. I thought they had all died 20 years ago. The Akazaya 9, the 9 red scabbards. Although, you know, give or take numbers here and there, you know, some traitor died. Good for him. And we see finally something that has not happened yet. We got introduced to Yamato in 2020, and in those 2 years up until now, she has only met Luffy. But here, she has finally met most of the crew, excluding Zoro. And she tells them that she is Kaido's son, so they think they're an enemy, or, you know, they're kind of freaking out. And then she's like, at any rate, I'm going to be joining you on your ship. I am Kozuki Oden, otherwise known as Yamato. Nice to meet you. And they're all like freaking out. They're just like, huh? You want to join us? She has to explain to them, no, I'm not your enemy. I'm not. And she tells them that she's been following their exploits in the newspaper. And the funny thing is, she's like, I have to say, I wasn't sure how many of you were actually human, but you all seem pretty normal. Hell no. This crew is far beyond from normal. There's like 4 actual humans or something like that. They're not normal. They all have different reactions. Just because she says she's Kaido's son, you see Nami and Usopp. We're like, what? Aren't you surprised? And Frankie's like, on our crew. And then obviously you see Sanji and Brook are just like, yo, ho, 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 I'm all for it. I'm especially for it, says Sanji. And they have like hearts all over them. It's pretty funny. And you see just Robin, you know, you're a funny one. And then you see the cold, stern Jinbe. It's nice of you to invite yourself aboard, but it's the captain who decides that. And she's like, yeah, that's true. Personally, I think that Yamato will join the crew, but when she tells Luffy, it'll be more like, I do not want Kozuki Oden on my ship, but I will take Yamato on board. You know, everyone's been saying that online, and I also believe that to be true. And there's also people saying that Yamato won't join the crew, but I don't think so. I think Yamato will 100% join the crew. The people who believe that Yamato won't join the crew are usually saying that what role will she play? You know, we don't really have another role for her. I personally think she'll be like, you know, the log person, you know, writing their story, their travels. I think they have already a logbook somewhere, but I think she will be, besides, you know, a formidable fighter, since she has Conqueror's Haki and an ancient mythical Zoan fruit. She's gonna be a beast of a fighter as well, but I think she'll be the one logging their journey. Also, I personally believe, and this will trigger a lot of people, that Carrot will also join, but it'll be like how Robin joined. They'll, they'll leave Wano, they'll be talking, and just like before when she joined them on their way to Whole Cake Island, she will come right out of a cabin as they're talking and all that, and she will join them. They'll be like, why are you here? And she'll be like, I wanted to join you guys on your adventure. And I know that will trigger a lot of people and be like, what role will she play? She'll honestly be perfect for what she's been doing when she's been on board their ship, the Lookout. Personally think Carrot will also join. There's a 50-50 chance. That's just my personal opinion. I know that will trigger some people. People are split 50-50 from what I've seen online. So Yamato and Carrot, they will both join, but 100% Yamato will join, and that's just my take on it. You still see Chopper tending to Luffy and Zoro. I want to see both of them get up. I want to see that already. They need to get up, but that won't happen. I'm pretty sure we'll get like a scene a week later or something like that. We'll finally see both of them get up, but we'll finally see an interaction. I need to see them both get up after all that amazingness that has happened throughout Wano, especially the fights. And then we see the remaining beast pirates trying to run away, and you see Yamato, hey, who said you could run? And they're just like, we don't want to be slaves, young Master Yamato. And I don't think they'll be. I think Yamato will help by rebuilding Wano back to what it was. We won't make you slaves, but you will pay your dues by helping out the people of Wano while they rebuild, and stuff like that. We also finally see how Tama's devil fruit works. Her power works for about a month. She controls all the animals and stuff like that. They have their own free will after that. They can choose to remain with her, or they can go back to whatever it is that they want to do. She says after about a month, some animals go back to the way they were, but some of them will stay my friend. Like we see a bear loving her, and then after it turns back, stomping away. And then we get a nice, cute little scene. She's like to Horselina, as they call her. I know her name is Speed, but I hope you stay with me forever. And she does like that surprise face. It just looks funny. It just looks super funny, So I think she'll be like a motherly figure to Tama, I believe. Not, obviously not her mother, but maybe like a stepmom. Because then they show Nami just looking surprised. Nami had a stepmom in Bellamere, so cute little scene right there. I'm pretty sure Speed will end up staying with Tama. And here it is, ladies and gents. The reveal of Kozuki Momonosuke. We see 4 scabbards on each side, and then we finally get a speech before we get the reveal of Kozuki Momonosuke. He says, 20 years have passed since the death of my father, Kozuki Oden. I'm so glad that you have survived these long, difficult years. The fire festival is not ending. Starting tomorrow, you may do whatever business you like. You may drink to your heart's content. You will not pay for the water from the earth. No poison from factories will be allowed to spoil the land. There will be no slaves in Wano. Orochi's wicked rule and the threat of Kaido are gone for good. We found strong, faithful companions at sea, and as part of the Ninja Pirate Mink Samurai Alliance, we led a raid upon Onigashima. Kaido, Orochi, the Animal Kingdom pirates, every evil that plagues our fair land has been vanquished, and we will never forget the sacrifices of those brave souls who paved the way for this raid. And right before he finishes, his little speech, he's like, Kinemon, I'd run out of things to say. What do I do now? And he says, just keep going, bluff your heart out. And we get a little flashback of Luffy talking to Momo, like, what are you, Momo, just a figurehead? Is there a single thing left in the world to be scared of? And then he says, my father gave me a name that means invincible. Under my rule, this parched and ruined land will turn into a paradise on earth. Lend me your strength and let us work towards this end together. I have traveled 20 years to save you all. From this day on, I, Kozuki Momonosuke, will lead the land of Wano. And oh man, that was good. I love that. And then we finally get the reveal of Kozuki Momonosuke at the age of 28. Well, we should say he's still 8 years old. He's just been, he's been aged up to 20 because of Shinobu's devil fruit. But that was a good speech. That was amazing. And then we see what Kozuki Momonosuke looks like now at age 28. He looks pretty cool. You see some resemblance to his dad. He has the long hair, but he has the eyebrows and all that, but he doesn't have that big top part of his hair, but he looks cool as hell. And he also finally has his dad's other sword, because when it was offered to him before, he said he is not worthy, but now he is, because he is holding it while he was giving this speech. He has it in his hand. He has Odin's other sword. During that speech, we also get to see a flashback and little, backstory of Tama, which is kind of sad. We see that I guess her parents worked in the factories. We see just today at the factory another 4 died. We see someone behind the window saying, "Who's going to tell her, the poor girl?" Listen, Otama, this is very difficult to say, but I'm afraid your father and mother are. They tell her that her parents are died because I guess they were also factory workers. And then you see Otama praying at the grave of her parents with her dog Komachio. When he was a little baby, he grew pretty big really fast, and right there when she's praying at her parents' graveyard, he's a little dog, and she's like, "Mommy, Daddy, rest in peace. I'll be okay on my own." And you see that she was making the woven hats and people wouldn't buy them, or they would, and she's like, "Sorry, Komachio, I couldn't sell any hats today." And then we see the day that Tama met Tenguyama Hitetsu, the guy with the white wings and the red mask with the big the big nose, and he bought a hat from her. He says, "You're an orphan, just bear with it. Only a few more years until the day that the powerful samurai called the Kozuki return and vanquish the ogres for good." Kozuki? Is it true? I'll bear with it then. I'll be okay. And she waited, and then you see she starts crying. She's hugging Nami. And we get a little flashback of when she met Luffy, and he says, "We'll make it so this is normal. By the time we leave this country, it'll be a place where you can eat as much as you want every single day." And that's why she's crying, because he kept his promise to her. Kept his promise. She can eat as much as she wants now. We also get to see little Toko there. I hope that Toko and Tama get to finally meet. It's been a long time coming. If they haven't met yet, it's finally about time that they do. Even the scabbards themselves are crying. They have finally accomplished what they've waited 20 years to do. Take down Orochi, take down Kaido. And, Kozuki Momonosuke is here to lead the land of Wano now. He's here. They have accomplished their goal. You see all of them crying, and you just see Momonosuke saying, "Mother, father, I will keep my promise. I will follow in your footsteps." We see everyone cheering in the flower capital, and it says, "The true Shogun has returned at last. We've been awaiting your arrival for so long. Lord Momonosuke!" We also get to see what we didn't get to see is Momonosuke and her sister reunited. She's crying. She does that little face. I did kind of wish that Hiyori and Momo would have met when he was still an 8-year-old child. It would have been a funny thing, but they met now. They finally met after 20 years. They reconnected, and they brother and sister. They have never, since that fateful day 20 years ago, they have not been reconnected until now, and it's pretty cool. And then it says, "And when the warrior at last sheathed his blade, the sky of the day to come danced with spinning, fluttering petals. This is the land of samurai. Here under the night blossom stands a handsome man of 8, blessed with great dedication and mercy, and a level of strength that can be forgiven. This is the birth of the man who would later be known around the world as the great Shogun of Wano, Kozuki Momonosuke." And whoo, that was good. I love that. But yeah, overall that was a amazing chapter. There were some questions that were answered. We finally see Kozuki Momonosuke as a full-blown 28-year-old man, although he is technically 8 years old. So yeah, he's gonna live a hard life. I'll tell you that now. He missed out his whole childhood, his teenage years, his young adult life. He's 28 years old now. Technically a 28-year-old body, but he is mentally 8 years old. But it'll be difficult, but the greatest leaders also go through the greatest sacrifices in their life, I'm gonna assume. But yeah, overall it was an amazing chapter. It was pretty good. I can't wait for next week because there's no break, so maybe we'll get more questions answered in the next chapter. Who knows? But overall it was an amazing chapter. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. So join me in my next video. So let's hop on this cosmic cloud and let's journey into infinity and see what awaits us next in the world of One Piece.